Why people should not be allowed to own exotic pets by Keely D'Souza. You may have always dreamed about how cool it would be to own a lion, a wolf, or even a bear. They would be so cute as babies, and it would be so unique to have that kind of pet. But then they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then what? How can a wild animal live in a house meant for people and maybe some small animals? Are you safe? Are they safe? The simple answer is no. My main points. It is cruel to the animal. It is dangerous to own an exotic pet. And there are plenty of other / better options. It is cruel to the animal. 75% of exotic pets die prematurely within living in a house for less than a year. These animals need to be in the proper habitat so they can live and thrive. These animals are dying off slowly in people's homes, and it is not right for them to be there. There is no situation why a 400-pound animal should be living inside a small house. Animals kept in small environments that do not suit their needs are more prone to violence, and it may put a person living with this animal in grave danger. Now that I have told you why it's cruel to own an exotic pet, let's move on to why the owner's safety as well as the animal is important. It is dangerous to own an exotic pet because 80 to 90% of monkeys are infected by herpes B virus and swine B virus, a virus that is very deadly to humans but not the monkeys. 52 people have been reported being bitten by monkeys between the years 1990 and 1997. These animals have instincts to hunt and kill. Their owners may be in grave danger, and it's just not worth it to be owning this kind of animal because if something happens to that person, it is their fault for owning them. Since 2000, at least 4 people have been mauled to death by wolf hybrids. These exotic creatures are not suitable to be living in such close quarters with humans. One unfortunate event did occur to a 3-year-old boy who was mauled by his grandfather's pet tiger. Another boy that was 4 years old had his arm mauled off by another tiger. This chart right here shows reported incidents from 1990 to 2011 involving exotic pets. There was over 1,600 incidents and over 80 deaths due to owning exotic pets. There are plenty of other / better options. There are plenty of legal shelter animals that need a home. Owning a safe legal animal is very easy. Shelters all over have dogs, cats, and other kinds of animals that you can have in your home. It's a lot easier to own a legal pet because you can go to any store and find food, water, beds, anything you need for them. But when you own a tiger, it's not very easy to access their food, like lots of raw meat, and you don't have a lot of room in a house for a very large animal. It is easier to own a legal house pet because, one, you are not going to get in trouble because it is legal. When you own an exotic animal, you can have penalties, and in most states in the U.S., it is not allowed. Now that you have heard my speech, I hope that everybody here understands why owning exotic pets is not a good idea. It is bad for the animal and it is bad for the human involved. I hope nobody here will ever try to consider doing so. You can always try going to a shelter to adopt a safe, legal animal. A smaller request for my audience is that if you could share a link on social media sharing why owning an exotic pet is not a good situation. It is important we try to spread awareness on this topic so more individuals are educated on the dangers of owning exotic pets. I hope this speech is persuading you from staying away from owning an exotic animal. Thank you, and are there any questions?
What kind of non-exotic animal would you recommend?
I would recommend a dog or a cat because they're the most common and they're the easiest to take care of. You can access all their basic needs in basically any store around.
Where would you recommend getting one of these?
There are many shelters around. There's ASPCA, and if you look up local shelters around, they're not all owned by the same company, but no shelter is more than 5 to 10 miles away for most people. Do you have a question, ma'am?
Oh, also I was going to say you can buy dogs and cats from breeders, local breeders.
That too, but try to go to a shelter because they need homes.
Yes.
What about pet rabbits?
Pet rabbits are not always safe, but they are legal. They are a little destructive. but they are legal, so if you're giving them a good environment to live in, then it's okay. Is that all
Yes.
for my audience? Thank you very much for listening to my speech. Do not own an exotic animal.